Pixie Dust and Pumpkin Spice podcast, where every day is Halloween and every night is a magical adventure. Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of the Pixie Dust and Pumpkin Spice After Hours podcast. I'm Nick, your host for all things spooky, travel, Disney, and Universal. In today's episode, we're taking a break from Halloween Horror Nights to focus on some of Orlando's best local Halloween attractions that you might not have had on your radar. We all love Halloween Horror Nights, but what about those haunts that aren't as widely known but are still filled with thrills, chills, and pure terror? We're covering everything from haunted houses and scare trails to spooky bars and ghost tours. Plus, we'll be hearing from you, our listeners, about what you're most excited to experience at this year's Halloween Horror Nights and what scares you'd design if you had the chance. So grab your pumpkin spice latte, or maybe something a little bit stronger. Why not? It's Friday night. And let's dive in. I know I've got my Bahama Mama ready to go. Let's kick off with some of Orlando's most popular local Halloween attractions that deliver the same level of scares as Halloween Horror Nights, but with their own unique twist. Orlando Halloween Monster House. If you're looking for a haunt that's both terrifying and intricately detailed, Orlando Halloween Monster House should be at the top of your list. Located right in the heart of the city, this house is known for its elaborate set designs and immersive scares. Picture multiple rooms, each with its own distinct theme. You could be walking through an abandoned asylum in one moment and an eerie carnival in the next. The Monster House specializes in psychological scares. Don't expect just a jump scare here and there. This place gets into your head. Plus, they're always pushing boundaries with new rooms and surprises every year. If you want an experience that feels like you're inside a horror movie, this is the haunt for you. Next up, let's head into the woods with the Petrified Forest scare trail. This haunt offers something unique, multiple trails that each have their own scare zones. Imagine walking through a dense forest, with the moon barely lighting your path, while monsters and maniacs lurk around every corner. What's cool about a petrified forest is that it's not confined to four walls. The outdoor environment makes everything feel unpredictable and even more dangerous. They even have a backstage tour where you can see how the scares are made, which adds an extra layer of intrigue for those of you who love knowing what goes on behind the scenes. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more family-friendly but still eerie, check out Happy Frights at Harry P. Lou Gardens. It might be more your speed. The gardens are transformed into a haunted wonderland, with different zones for different scare levels. This is perfect for those of you with younger kids who still want to get in the Halloween spirit without terrifying them too much. The natural beauty of the gardens, combined with spooky decorations and a few jump scares here and there, make for a unique experience that the whole family can enjoy. Before we move on, let's check in with some of you. We asked our listeners, which haunted house or scare zone from this year's Halloween Horror Nights lineup are you most excited to experience and why? And here's a response from Lori.
I love the scare zones. All have different elements in them that you can get some really good ideas for your own home.
Thanks to everyone who sent in their thoughts. If you haven't already, drop us a DM on Instagram, a comment in YouTube, and let us know which house you're most psyched for. All right, let's move on from haunted houses and trails to something a little different: haunted nightlife and ghost tours. Cocktails and Screams is Orlando's only haunted speakeasy, and it's the perfect spot for those of you who want a little booze with your booze. From the moment you step inside, you're greeted by spooky decor. Think creepy chandeliers, haunted portraits, and a bar that looks like it was pulled straight out of a vampire movie. The drinks are themed too. Try the Vampire's Kiss or the Witch's Brew if you're feeling a little adventurous. It's not super scary, but the ambiance is perfect for getting into the Halloween spirit with friends. They also have a secret back room appropriately named the Red Rum Room, for those of you who want an extra layer of mystery. This is a bar I am definitely checking out next time I'm in Orlando. I've been trying to go for years with my mom or whoever I go down with, but it just never seems to work out, and it is a must for me. Halloween or not, I know I will love the ambiance. If you're a fan of real-life haunted stories, then Orlando Haunts or American Ghost Adventures might be right up your alley. These ghost tours take you through some of the most haunted spots in downtown Orlando, with guides who tell the chilling stories behind each location. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the combination of history and spine-tingling tales will definitely leave an impression. Plus, it's a more relaxed way to enjoy Halloween vibes without the intensity of a full-blown haunt. Finally, for those of you who like your scares with a bit of social distancing, there's Scream and Stream, a haunted drive-through experience. You stay in the safety of your own car while the horrors come to you. Googling really didn't help me find out what this year's theme will be, but I'm sure it will kill. It's a very modern take on the haunt experience, blending horror and sci-fi with some incredible animatronics and live actors. It's a great option if you want to experience something unique while keeping your distance from other people. Let's jump back into more listener answers. We asked you all if you could design your own haunted house or scare zone, what theme would you choose and what kinds of scares and surprises would you include? I'll start this one. A vintage Halloween theme sounds incredible to me. Bringing in those classic tales and traditions will give the house a rich, nostalgic feel, while also educating and entertaining your guests. Weaving these stories into the different scenes, offering a mix of history and spooky fun. For example, you could start with the origins of carving turnips, sharing the tale of Stingy Jack, and then transitioning into how the tradition evolved into pumpkin carving in America. Followed up with the history of costumes as a means of disguising oneself from malevolent spirits, setting the scene for the modern-day celebration. When you get to the part about the dangers of candy, you could tie it into the cautionary tales that inspired movies like Trick or Treat. It would be a great way to mix folklore, history, and pop culture, all while keeping that eerie vintage vibe. Our first anonymous listener said, "I'd love a haunted circus, but with a twist. Think Cirque du Soleil, but instead of acrobats, you've got demonic clowns and aerialists who attack from above." Wow, I really love that whole aerialists who attack from above thing. I feel like maybe Halloween Horror Nights should start looking into that. Anonymous Listener 2 said, "I design a haunted library where each section of the library has a different book come to life. So one moment you're being chased by Dracula and the next Frankenstein's monster is coming after you." That is one that I could definitely get behind due to the fact that I just love those classic monsters. But we're going to keep going on. Here is a voice message Mindy shared.
If I could design my own haunted house, it would start with an immediate Arctic chill the moment you step inside. The atmosphere would be dark and dreary, setting the perfect eerie tone. As you make your way through, you would hear unsettling background noises that keep you on edge, with Arctic creatures lurking around every corner, ready to deliver heart-pounding jump scares. It would be a chilling experience from start to finish, literally and figuratively. At the end of my haunted house, there'd be a terrifying Bumble waiting for you with sharp, scary teeth and blood dripping from its mouth. Just when you think you're safe, it would roar at you one last time, sending you running for the exit. It would be the ultimate fright to cap off the experience. The chilling, fun experience.
Those were all so creative. Keep sending in your ideas. I love hearing about what scares you would create. Let's get back to the haunted attractions. We've got some more terrifying trails and fully immersive experiences to cover. First up, Mortem Manor. It's a year-round haunted house located in Old Town Kissimmee. This haunt is perfect for those who love classic haunted house experiences but want it anytime, not just in October. The manor is packed with animatronics, detailed sets, and live actors who are absolute pros at terrifying guests. One of their standout features is the interactive coffin experience, where you can literally be buried alive, if you dare. Sir Henry's Haunted Trail offers a variety of experiences in one location, with multiple trails, an escape game, and even laser tag. This haunt is great for horror fans who want to mix things up. The trails are all themed differently. One might take you through a haunted circus, while another drops you into the middle of a post-apocalyptic nightmare. They also incorporate storytelling in a big way, so each trail has a plot that unfolds as you make your way through. Next up is Screamageddon, which is about a 40-minute drive from Orlando, but absolutely worth the trip. It's essentially a giant scream park with multiple haunted houses and interactive scare zones. What sets Screamageddon apart is its interactivity. In certain houses, you have the option to wear a glow necklace, which signals to the actors that they can pull you deeper into the experience, literally. They can grab you, separate you from your group, and even take you into hidden rooms. It's an experience for the truly brave. Okay, if they can grab you and pull you from your group and take you into a hidden room, I would totally be down for that. I don't know how I'd react because I'm pretty cool in haunted houses, knowing that it's all made up and there's actors there. I don't know how I would do if somebody actually grabbed me and separated me from my group, but I truly would love to find out. Lastly, we have Fear Reach Scream Park, one of the newer attractions on the scene, but already gaining a following. What's interesting about Fear Reach is its commitment to creating detailed worlds. Each of their haunts has a distinct backstory, from cursed towns to alien invasions, and they pull it off with some amazing special effects and immersive set designs. Now let's check out some final listener responses. We asked you, have you used any special ticket options or extras at Halloween Horror Nights? If so, which ones and how did they enhance your experience? We have 2 voice messages, and at the end, I'll share my thoughts on extras and options.
I've tried the after 2 p.m. day-night ticket, Express Pass, and RIP tour, and each one added something special to my Halloween Horror Nights experience. With the after 2 p.m. ticket, I loved being able to ride some of the regular rides and enjoy some drinks to pregame before the evening festivities kicked off. The Express Pass was a game changer. Being able to bypass all of the lines for the haunted houses was amazing. I can't imagine doing it any other way now. We got to skip past people waiting for hours and didn't miss a single thing because of it. The RIP tour was incredible too. We had access to refreshments, bottled water, and snacks, which was such a nice touch. Having a guided tour with someone explaining the backstory to each house before we went in made the experience even more immersive. Plus, the special bars where we could watch the madness below and take a rest were perfect. It really made the night feel extra VIP.
For special tickets, I would say the RIP pass. Not only do you have a guided tour without having to wait in the long lines, you get food and drink at a buffet, a special lounge to rest in. It is just a great way to enjoy horror nights.
My experience with ticket options and extras is simple. Always get them. They make life so much easier when you're attending big events, but don't worry, I'll dive deeper into my experience with Express Pass and the RIP tour in later episodes. The extras and add-ons can really take your Halloween Horror Nights experience to the next level. In past episodes, we asked you how you feel Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando could improve. Let's listen to how Lori thinks Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando could improve.
I think if Universal would add more scare zones on all the walkways throughout the park, that would improve your experience. I love all the scare zones, but more is needed. It is very exhilarating to have the characters jump out, follow, and act like they want to harm or frighten you.
Oh, I love hearing all your guys' stories and feedback. Thanks again to everyone who has shared. You asked, I'll answer. What's your number 1 tip for someone attending Halloween Horror Nights for the first time? I always tell people the key to a great Halloween Horror Nights experience is planning ahead. One of my top tips is to invest in the extras, like the Express Pass. It might seem like a splurge, but it's totally worth it when you're breezing past lines instead of waiting for hours and only getting to 1 or 2 houses. Trust me, your feet and your patience will thank you by the end of the night. What's been your favorite house or scare zone at Halloween Horror Nights over the years? Oh, that one's a tough one, but if I had to choose, it would be any of the Universal Monsters houses. I'm a huge fan of the classic monsters, and seeing them brought to life in such an immersive way was absolutely amazing. Plus, the details and scares were top-notch. It's definitely hard to beat for me. Another favorite was This Is the End 3D, based off the movie. I love the vibrant colors. The 3D aspect was okay, but the black lights and the effects were pretty awesome. Also, it doesn't hurt that I'm a fan of Jay Baruchel, so I was going to go through it either way just because he did the movie. Why do you recommend getting the extras like Express Pass and RIP Tour for big events like Halloween Horror Nights? That one's easy. Getting the extras like the Express Pass or the RIP Tour is all about enhancing your experience. For events as massive as Halloween Horror Nights, these add-ons make your night smoother and less stressful. You get more time to enjoy the scares, the food, the atmosphere, and even take some breaks without feeling rushed. It's about maximizing your fun and minimizing the wait times. Now I'm going to throw it back at you guys. Which local Orlando haunt gives you the biggest thrills outside of Halloween Horror Nights and why? What's your scariest or funniest Halloween memory at any local attraction? If you could combine 2 Orlando haunts into one ultimate scare experience, which would you choose and how would you blend their themes? That wraps up our deep dive into Orlando's best local Halloween attractions. I hope you enjoyed hearing about more Halloween fun beyond Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. From the mind-bending Orlando Halloween Monster House to the immersive trails of Sir Henry's, there's no shortage of scares outside of Halloween Horror Nights. Keep those questions coming and stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll explore even more haunted houses, scare zones, and Halloween events. We want to hear from you. What local haunt is your favorite and why? Do you have memories or spooky stories to share? I'd love to hear from you. Drop us a comment on YouTube or Instagram, or DM us your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, tips, tricks, or magical stories. Send me an email or a voice message to pixiedustpumpkinspice@gmail.com, and you might be featured on our Pixie Dust and Pumpkin Spice After Hours episode. Next time, we'll be diving into Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, so be sure to tune in for that. Until then, stay spooky. This is Nick, signing off with a sprinkle of pixie dust and a dash of pumpkin spice.